Alright guys, so we're down here checking some traps because I put out traps for rabbits because the rabbits been tearing up my soybeans and trying to relocate them. So I'm going to show you guys what my food plots are looking like. So here we go. See right here, this has been tilled up about a week and a half ago. I'm going to plant turnips here around September and throw in some winter wheat. So I'm going to let this stuff grow back up, the grasses. I killed it off once, tilled it up, threw in some lime, and going to let the grasses and weeds come back up, kill them off again, till them under, and plant. So I'll keep you guys posted on that food plot. It goes all the way back there. I'm not sure if I'm going to plant all the way back there. I was originally just going to plant to those trees right here. And then comes all along here, along the beans. And then right through there. And actually I have a tree stand right here. See my tree stand maybe. Yeah, it's right there. About 20 foot up the tree there. So, be a good spot hopefully. And then right here you can see my soybeans looking fantastic. You can see some of these. They're just loaded with beans. I don't know how good you can see that. They're absolutely loaded with beans. And just look at the size of that. The size of that stem on that soybean. Almost as big as my thumb. That's fantastic. Now here's what I've noticed. These ones on the outside that I'm showing you, you can see how many branches it has off of that one plant. Well, the ones inside here, they're pretty much just a straight shot. They're all, there's not a whole lot of branching on, so they're not making as many beans. Here's a better look. You can see how many branches it has off of it. So what I did, I planted this too thick. If I would have planted it like this, a little more open, it would have had more forage. You can see how many leaves that one plant's made. I mean, there's just tons of leaves. So I would have been better off if I would have spaced this out. All this seed, if I would have just planted it all the way over here too, it would have been better off. That's probably what I'll do next year. But you can see all these tops had been nipped off. The deer had been browsing them pretty heavy. There's some weeds out there. Not a whole lot. I just didn't bother with killing those. You can see that utilization cage. It's almost growing at the top. So, but the thing is, I'm not sure if you can't really accurately judge that compared to the rest, because we had some heavy rainfalls, and one day I came back here, and all this used to be really high, and we had a rainfall and it got lodged, and basically what that means, it got knocked down and it got tangled within itself, and it didn't really come up as much as it did, as it should. So in that cage it was held up so it stayed like it was. So I mean, I'm not sure, it's fairly accurate, because where you can see, if you look out there, you can see that kind of light green stuff. That's where almost all the leaves have been ate off the top of those plants, because they ate the high spots and they didn't move to the low spots where they were lodged. So I mean, you can kind of compare it. So I don't know. Anyways, there's definitely been a lot of browsing on this. And I gotta turn this camera off before I go around here. Alright. So you can just see these things. They're just beautiful. That's the only way I can describe it. I mean, these beans turned out great. Another thing I've noticed is that in my food plots, if you fertilize them fairly heavy. You can see all this moss. All this moss growing on the ground. And I think that moss would help conserve the soil moisture. So it's kind of beneficial. Kind of benefits the soybeans. And right here, right in this spot where my hand's moving, I had a tree fall down. See that junk? Top of that black walnut tree fell down. Or no, it was that. There's a spot right there, that limb fell down. And it fell in my beans. Out to about here. And I came down here to chainsaw, cut it up and moved it out. It laid there for about a day and a half. Those beans were matted down. And I thought they wouldn't come back. Sure enough, they came right back up. They had mud all over them and everything else, and they still came back. You can just see all the beans on all these plants. I'm pretty happy with this. You can see all those been nipped off. They have really been tearing them up, I'm telling you. Looks like we don't have anything in our traps. Not this one. We got 2 traps up here. Man, I am really excited to hunt this, especially in the winter. You just look and see how many of those leaves have been nipped off. I mean, it's just crazy. They've really been hitting them. Now look at these plants. Look at this. Stand next to this. Look how high this is on me. It's above my belly button. It's like pretty crazy. One of the reasons they grew so high though is because I planted so thick and they're fighting for sunlight, so they keep competing with themselves and they try to get taller and taller. But still, I mean, it's pretty nice. See some nice blooms on there. That soybean. And what the rabbit's been doing, if you look in here, you see all those pieces of soybeans? They've been cutting down the whole plant, and what they leave, they cut down the whole plant just to eat the leaves off of them. And you just see a bunch of these stems laying on the ground. And that's all they do, just cut the whole plant down. Like that one right there, that's been cut down. So that's why I've been trapping them. I've already trapped one. Trapped one, relocated it, so. That is a good sight for a deer hunter. Alright guys, let's go to the next food plot.